Welcome to Great Getaways. Today's adventure takes us down to Lake St. Clair right here in Michigan. It's one of the Great Lakes, probably the one you don't hear so much about, but today you're going to because we've got some great things planned and we're going to have fun doing them.
Lake St. Clair is impressive, covering 440 square miles with more than 160 miles of shoreline. This is the nautical heart of Michigan. It gives visitors a wealth of roads, waterways, and places to explore. Lake St. Clair is a hidden jewel just waiting to be discovered. We start today's getaway being escorted by kayakers and paddleboarders into New Baltimore, where we find one of just 2 public beaches on Lake St. Clair.
We have gotten out here on the lake and we are headed where?
We're heading to New Baltimore, Michigan, which is at the top of Anchor Bay, really the very top of Lake St. Clair. One of the prettiest little downtowns that you can imagine. And we're being greeted by a party of kayakers and stand-up paddleboarders here. We're going to usher us into town and have a little lunch. And from there, we'll go on to our next stop.
Simple Adventures is a locally owned and operated paddle sport rental and delivery service that offers on-site rentals right here at the Walter and Mary Burke Park. 2 skilled operators, Bethany and Kate, are here to serve the water sport enthusiast.
Mark, what do you say we take a walk into town?
Yes, let's go run by the beach and then we'll head right into town.
Hey, sounds good.
The beautiful beach at Walter and Mary Burke Park in downtown New Baltimore is a great place for the kids to frolic in the sand or to get some sun while enjoying stunning views of Anchor Bay. While the swimming beach is relatively small, the adjacent park provides all the amenities perfect for a summer barbecue, family gathering, or just sitting back and enjoying a good book. Visitors will find picnic facilities, playscapes, a fishing pier, volleyball, tetherball, and a great boardwalk.
We're going to take a tour of New Baltimore right now and see what this downtown area really looks like. Would you girls like to join me?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Off we go into this turn of the last century downtown with its quaint shops. Our guide, Mark Miller, would take us to some great spots. This was heaven for kids young and old. Whether it was licorice or bubblegum, there was something for everyone.
Grab your favorites.
Well, hey, looks like we got a winery here, a wine tasting spot.
Washington Street Wine House. You have to stop here and have some wine.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yes.
Sounds like a good idea.
They have a lot of great varieties that they blend, and it's one of my favorite locations.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yes, let's wine more. Hi, how are you?
Now it was time for an adult beverage as we went to the wine house for a taste of some terrific wine choices.
I love to take a bottle out to my deck after a hard day.
Cooking?
I won't say how much goes down, but cheers!
Delicious.
Well, Mark, this is just a quaint little town. And where you got for us next?
Oh, we're gonna go to Stahl's Bakery. It's one of the oldest, it is the oldest bakery here in New Baltimore, and it's been here for many, many years, and they have an oven in there that you have to see. Because I can't explain it, you just have to see it.
I get into bakeries, I love the smell.
This 83-year-old business has a unique oven. Built over 80 years ago, it was originally heated by coal. Since then, it has been converted to a more modern gas-operated oven. Once hot, it will hold a steady temperature all day. It gets so hot that they have to use 10-foot peels to keep from getting burned. Next, it was a stop at the New Baltimore Museum with a strumming banjo player out front to set the mood. It's a trip into the fascinating history of this small town.
I'm working up an appetite. What do you think about lunch?
I've got the perfect place for you.
Okay.
Not that I'm biased of it or anything like that, but it's called Little Camille's by the Bay. And it's a restaurant that I opened up a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And
great, I'd like to see
we've been
that.
working on trying to build New Baltimore by the Bay and get people to know about our little town down here.
There was so much delicious food on the menu, we didn't know where to start. Mark took care of that for us. He had a complete selection of all of his best brought to us on the sidewalk dining area.
This is one of our famous salads. This is our Big Ron, we call it. It's a like an antipasto that we toss in our own balsamic vinegar dressing, and then we put it over the top of a baked pizza shell that we bake with garlic and Parmesan cheese. So it's like your garlic bread and salad all in one.
Wow.
It's a big hit here, Little Camille's.
Before we left, Mark took us inside for a refreshing brew and some interesting conversation. Soon we were on the way to Willie Babish, a store right out of the 60s, complete with a VW bug and a peace sign right outside the door. They had a little bit of everything, from beads and chains to unique Laker clothing.
We all have our maps.
Come on down and enjoy everything this great little town has to offer.
You know, Lake St. Clair is one of those really unique places in the world. It's the area between the upper Great Lakes and the lower Great Lakes. And it's this large body of water that when people get here, they realize it's one of the best fisheries in the entire country. It's one of the best recreational boating areas in the entire country. It has so much going for it. It's a shallow lake, and there's so many places and ports of call. And it's really a major part of our local economy. And people who have never been to the Detroit area and have been to Lake St. Clair and around Anchor Bay, and their image just completely changes when they see what we have to offer. It's a pretty amazing place, and we're proud to call it home. It's a great place to discover and to rediscover because there's never a boring place. It's really creating a lot of new energy about what we have been historically and where we're going in the future.
Well, now it was time to say goodbye to New Baltimore, and we're off to the world-famous AquaPalooza. The excitement is building at Baltimore Harbor here in Harrison Township for the largest on-the-water concert held on Lake St. Clair. The event is held off the shores of the marinas where hundreds of boats and thousands of boaters dance to the numerous bands performing on the stage.
Today we have AquaPalooza, and what that is a Sea Ray event. Sea Ray has the name patented, and we have several partners in that. We are the host site, and starting last year was the first year that we had the professional stage and more bands and over 2 days. So this is really something. Our goal is to eventually fill this whole lake out here, this full bay, with boats and get thousands and thousands of people. Last year was the first year at this scale. I believe that we had about 1,200 boats out there on both Saturday and Sunday.
There's not a bad seat in the house for this fan-friendly free concert celebrating Michigan boaters. There's plenty of dance space on the water and a great party atmosphere. A roped-off area keeps all powerboats away from the shoreline by 60 feet, so it's safe if you prefer to be in front of the stage on your paddle boats or personal watercraft, or for the standing room fans and those who want to set up beach chairs in the shallow water. To find your way here by boat, the Baltimore Harbor is just off Belvedere Bay, north of the mouth of the Clinton River and directly east of Selfridge Air Force Base. There are merchandise and food tents set up at McRae Harbor featuring local businesses, but where else can you order a pizza for delivery on the water? Another reason to make Lake St. Clair your destination is because it's respected by the world's anglers as some of the best sport fishing in the country, especially for smallmouth bass and muskie. Captain Joel Piatek, owner of Fish Heads Charters, took us out for a great smallie fishing experience.
We run a three-way system. This is all with live bait. And what we're doing is we're using a little bit longer drop on this because the weeds, we're halfway through the summer right now, so the weeds off the bottom are kind of high. And we just want that sinker to be skipping along the bottom the whole time. And while it does that, our shiner is going to be up this high here, swimming nice and natural on top of the weeds, presenting it in such a way that's going to be appealing to the smallmouth, which we're after here. Most people are going to have the tendency to go ahead and set the hook. Because we're using live bait, we're also using a smaller hook. What I want you to do is slow down a little bit. Let that fish wrap it a couple times. Even extend your arm out so that it could swallow that bait a little bit, get that hook in there. And then if you still feel them at that particular time, lift up just a little bit. If you're still feeling that weight, all I want you to do is just pull up on it just about that hard. You don't want to set it like you would be as if you're using an artificial bait.
Okay.
Artificial baits, totally different scenario.
The smallmouth bass fishing is nothing short of spectacular. In the summer, anglers are treated to nonstop action. It looks like Tom found a good spot on the lake.
Nice and easy, just lift them up a little bit, lift them up a little bit. There you go. Nice job.
Right.
Now that's one of our typical smallmouth right here on Lake St. Clair.
Beautiful.
This is such a great time since bass are the gamest of all sport fish and really fun to catch.
Oh, this one's better.
Fish on. Oh, very nice fish, Tom. That is an excellent fish. This is probably something that I enjoy most. In fact, if you give me my day off, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to bass fish. I like using live bait for smallmouth bass, and the reason being is because you can consistently catch fish like that.
As much fun as it was catching those smallmouth, we were more than anxious to try our hand at Lake St. Clair's world-renowned muskie fishing. Joel invited us back for what he said was super muskie fishing in the fall. Well, he didn't have to ask us twice. As soon as the first cool weather of fall was upon us, we called Joel and set up what would be a fishing trip of a lifetime. Joel started picking out the right lures for us to catch the big one. When we saw the size of the lures, it made our heart skip a beat. If the lure was that big, how big was the fish?
You see small muskies eat these giant baits, no problem at all.
Tom and Denny spent literally hundreds of hours in their youth hunting for the fish of 1,000 casts and were rewarded on occasion to the fight of a lifetime. Once it is in your blood, nothing compares to the pursuit of a muskie. We all had our own rods, and Joel picked out what he said were the best baits. Would we actually be lucky enough to catch a muskie today? Joel was pretty confident that we would catch a fish, but after all the years the guys spent fishing for the elusive predator, they just couldn't imagine that one day on the water would yield a muskellunge. All the rods were set, and it was time to get down to business. Brad, Jerry, Tom, and Denny were quiet as a church mouse in anticipation of a monster attacking our bait. Who would be the lucky one? Would it be a big one? Would we even get a bite? Well, we didn't have to wait long, as Tom set the hook on our first fish, and it looked to be a whopper. As Joel hollered instructions to pilot Chris, Tom fought one of the biggest fish of his life.
Oh, he's pulling, man. He's taking it.
Right rudder, Chris, right rudder.
Oh, there he is back there.
All right, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. It's in the net. Nice job, Tom. Nice job.
Nice fish.
Yeah, nice job. Nice job, guys.
44 inches, and Tom was exhausted. Wow, what a beauty. Soon it was Denny's turn, and another beauty was boated. Can you imagine 2 muskie in one day?
Okay, easy, easy, Den. All right, got it in the net. Nice job, bud. Nice job. All right, cool.
And unbelievably, we weren't done yet.
Keep coming, slow down.
Jerry pulled in a nice
Keep coming,
keeper.
buddy.
But sadly for Brad, that was it. Don't despair, Brad. You live down here, so I'm sure we'll be hearing some great stories from you in the future. The new Lake St. Clair Circle the Lake Tour map, along with the Circle the Lake Tour signs, connects millions of residents in the region to the greatest experiences on and along the shores of this freshwater gem. This map gives you a guided tour of the major destinations extending from the Blue Water Bridge to the Ambassador Bridge. It lists the top destinations and attractions while providing visitors with the best routes for navigating the roads, ferries, and international border crossings that are all part of the adventure. The Circle Tour of the Lake St. Clair area would not be complete without a stop in Mount Clemens to board the Clinton River Cruise Boat. They offer charter cruises for all occasions as well as lunch and dinner cruises. The boats have been going up and down the river for 20 years, and a typical cruise will last around 3 hours. The main branch of the river flows 83 miles from its headwaters to Lake St. Clair in Harrison Township, so there are many points of interest for the passengers to take in. They can also enjoy refreshments while on board. The double-deck boat offers spectacular views of both shores of the river as it passes by area marinas and shares the river with other boaters.
It's a great event for anybody who hasn't experienced the Clinton River. I know that as we take customers up and down the river, a lot of them have lived right in the backyard of this Clinton River their whole lives, and they get on the boat here and they go, boy, I never knew the Clinton River was this nice. You know, a lot of people have no concept about what's really out here until they take the boat ride, you know.
The Circle Tour has more for the whole family. Whether arriving by boat or car, the Nautical Mile is a must-see stop for an afternoon or a season. Let's hear about it from Tom and Brad.
Brad, you're taking us to some wonderful places around Lake St. Clair. But where the heck you got us now? We're standing in this beautiful little park.
Well, this is Wabi Park in St. Clair Shores. It's a lovely little spot and kind of the gateway to the Nautical Mile, which is the highest concentration of businesses and parks and restaurants on Lake St. Clair.
Okay, that's where the name comes from.
Yes, yes. And it's in Macomb County. They've got several marinas here, great marinas with lots of amenities. Almost every one has a terrific restaurant associated with it, so you can have a nice waterfront view as you have lunch or dinner. There's also some wonderful shops to go to and destination stores. One of them we're going to visit today is Gifts Afloat, which is a phenomenal nautical gift
I was going to say, goes
store.
right along with the theme then.
Exactly. And another one is Mike's Marine Supply, which is a terrific marine outfitter and supplier. So I'm excited to show you a little bit about that.
So anybody really that's interested in boating, getting out on the water, coming down here to the Nautical Mile is a really good place to start.
Boaters coming off a day on the water and landlubbers alike will delight in shopping for all things nautical, gifts, decor, clothing, and a wide variety of works created by artisans of the area. It's where you'll want to come to decorate your cottage, boat cabin, or take an item home to remind you of your love of Lake St. Clair. Friendly, knowledgeable shopkeepers will help you find your unique gift, souvenir, or nautical accessory that gives you the real taste of the nautical lifestyle. Be sure to give yourself a lot of time to look and make your selection. The Nautical Mile District has 7 major marinas with more than 2,700 slips. And of course, the marinas of the Nautical Mile have all the amenities where a boater can find the marine product he needs. Actually, there are more than 30 companies in the mile that cater to the boating lifestyle, including Mike's Marine Supply, where you can get anything that has to do with boating, clothing, parts for all types of vessels, even hard-to-find parts.
Anything to do with boating, we have here. It's from apparel, paint, nuts and bolts, clevis pins, anything for sailboats, powerboats, a lot of hard-to-find parts. Just anything you'd need for your boat.
Okay, so any of you that are boaters, you're down in the area, or if you need something and you can't find it wherever you're from, this might be the place to come to. So come on down, look around. I'm sure you're going to find something you want.
The store has been around for 40-some years, and it's a destination in itself. It's time to set sail to learn more about Lake St. Clair on the Summer Discovery Cruises. They offer anyone interested in exploring Lake St. Clair the opportunity to get out on the water for an educational experience. Cruisers can learn about many aspects of the lakes, from lighthouses, shipwrecks, bootleggers, and history and culture of the region to fish, ecology, restoration, and wind, waves, and water, and much more, depending on the cruise theme. There are more than 20 cruise themes to choose from. Most cruises range from 2.5 to 4 hours on the water and range in price from $10 to $25 per person. Ages 6 and older are welcome on the cruises. If you're looking for a unique and cool way to kick off the warm weather season, the annual Sprint and Splash at Lake St. Clair is where you'll want to be.
Lake St. Clair, the gathering place of the Great Lakes waterway system. Lake St. Clair has got to be one of the busiest freshwater lakes in the entire country, especially during the summer months. Why? Because of activities like this. Here at Lake St. Clair Metropark, we have the Sprint and Splash, a duathlon, where people run a 5K and then they do a 2-mile paddleboard race right out in front of Lake St. Clair. There is more fishing, boating activity on what we call the gathering place of the Great Lakes waterway system. So it's pretty exciting to be out here just with this excitement. Summertime, this is the place to be, out on Lake St. Clair.
It's hosted in June at Lake St. Clair Metropark in Harrison Township. You can choose to participate in the duathlon, a 5K run and a 2-mile kayak event, a family-friendly 5K run and walk, or a stand-up paddleboarding competition, 2-mile recreational race, or 6-mile WPA-sanctioned race. There is always a great turnout for the paddleboarders who keep their balance and paddle as hard and fast as they can to keep up with or go ahead of their competitors. The anxious runners take off like a shot as they race around the course along Lake St. Clair. Those participating in the duathlon glide into the water on their kayaks, paddling hard and racing for that finish line. The cheers of the onlookers keep them paddling and rowing and running as fast as they can for the prizes donated to the top finishers and the thrill of it all. One reason this event is so unique and so popular is that it takes place entirely on or around Lake St. Clair, a beautiful venue on a delightful summer day. No wonder you hear participants saying it's the most fun event they have ever participated in. The volunteers, sponsors, and attendees have a great time too. If you're thinking of trying your hand at any or all of the events but don't have the right equipment, don't worry. There are vendors that will rent you a kayak or paddleboard. Once you try it, we're sure you will like it. At the end of the contests, when scores are tallied, the winning athletes are announced. Results are always posted for each event on the Sprint and Splash website. The waters of Lake St. Clair are perfect for these recreational activities. Come watch events like Sprint and Splash, or come out to try kayaks and paddle boats just for the fun of it. You have seen all the ways to spend time in or on the water. Which would you choose for your adventure on Lake St. Clair? Would you pick a lunch or dinner cruise down the Clinton River? Or shopping and dining along the Nautical Mile? If you love bass or muskie fishing, would your choice be a guided charter on the well-stocked lake where you'll easily catch your limit, or just have fun catching and releasing? What about the opportunity to attend a great concert and the only seats in the house are on the water? There are so many water-related events hosted throughout the season on Lake St. Clair. Well, we want to know what your favorite is, and we've set up an online voting page for your choices. Let us know your favorites, and we'll post your vote and opinion online. If you would like to learn more about Lake St. Clair after watching today's show, order a free information packet from the contact information on your screen. Be sure to make use of the Lake St. Clair travel planner we put together for you. There are videos, pictures, and links for area information to guide you to the great places and events we showed you today.
Yeah, if you want more information, you want to find a charter, you want to find a place to stay, the restaurants, the boating, anything you want to know, you can go to our website at greatgetaways.tv and you can find the information there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for another Great Getaway.